Yes, it's that time. It was gonna happen, but it's about time we discuss the map. The map of the Crew 3 Motorfest. What's going on, boys? My name is Sid, and welcome back to more talk about the Crew 3, essentially. Don't worry, I'll be back to doing Crew 2 videos in a hot minute. But one major thing about the Crew 3 that I've seen mentioned a lot is the map. See, there seems to be a lot of contention on a lot of the things that are coming out for the Crew 3, especially stuff like the rewind and the small map and, well, all of that. And everyone, you know, jumping on the it looks like Forza argument, right? So I'm here to talk about it, because the map is an interesting one. So, we spent the last two games, this game that I'm playing right now, the Crew 2, and the Crew 1 in America, in Motor Nation, in what was America to Alex, and then now is, yes, Motor Nation to, I don't know, Hero? He's not the main character. Us as the voiceless, non-speaking protagonist. And here's the thing. You kind of sucked when, you know, we switched to America, when we were just still in America from the first game. We did get a lot of upgrades. Honestly, I have a theory. I believe they shrunk the map. Like, I believe, my alarms are going off, I believe from the Crew 1 to the Crew 2, they shrunk the whole map to accommodate for boats and planes, and that's why all the roads are all thinner and all this, everything feels smaller. I genuinely believe that. Maybe someday I'll put on both games and test that fact, but it was interesting. They changed a few things. Some cities were entirely redone. Some construction work was finished, as, like, that makes sense, you know, it's better than GTA. There's this one building in GTA that has been building for the last 12 years. At least in the Crew 2, going from 1 to 2 in 4 years, they finally finished the construction. It's over at Keys, the place in Miami. And, you know, it kind of sucked. It kind of sucked. Because to think that we got a lot of development in a lot of different things, but then we were on the same map, it just felt kind of cheap. I think it definitely worked still. In the long run, it 100% worked. Because I genuinely believe, and here's where the issues come in, right? I genuinely believe that the Crew 2, the main reason the Crew 2 has gone on for so long is because of the map. I genuinely think that one of the biggest reasons is because of the map. Because look at this. We didn't have anywhere near as much as this on the map before. You know, there's still spaces. These new events, these are still in spaces that there isn't an event yet. We could still get new events that go in this entire section. We've got still pockets where I can, okay, almost, maybe somewhere in there. Okay, maybe not. But we've got entire pockets still where I can hover over and not be over an event. Areas that they can still add events and then feel completely fresh. I get to this event and I was like, wait, I've never seen these roads before. And then noticed that it's in a location that I've never been to before directly. Right? I maybe have cruised past it. But I genuinely believe that the map is one of the main reasons that the Crew 2 has been going on for so long with its expansions. Something like Forza, I don't think something like that could even work. You know, they have their 2 map expansions, but if they just kept adding events and events and events like they do, right, people get bored because you're looking at the same 100 roads over and over and over and over again. In this game, you can still find new roads. You can still find new tiny cities that aren't even on the map. There'll just be a tiny collection of houses with like a factory, and the textures won't be done properly, and the buildings will be hovering, and walls you can drive through. It's a beauty. Yes, there's the trade-off, right? The game is a lot less higher quality. With what it seems from the trailers and the Crew 3, the game's much higher quality, where the Crew 2 is a lot less quality, you know. It sucks, but what genuinely, it takes away from the fact, if we could get a Crew 2 map with, you know, Motorfest reveal trailer quality, I think we'd have a banger of a game. But when I used to speculate on the new map for the Crew 3, sorry, it was stuff like Africa, the whole continent, right? Chunk of Europe. We're talking multiple, Germany, France, all of that, Spain, all of them, you know. We're talking Russia, the whole of, like a massive chunk of South America, Canada, the whole of, you know. And then to go from that to Oahu. Essentially, what was allegedly well, this is incredibly public now, I guess. Every article talks about this. I still say allegedly. But it was supposed to be an expansion to the Crew 2. It was supposed to be an expansion where you could go to the island or whatever, and whatever, and whatever. And, you know, maybe it would have been good as that, but also, maybe it would have been terrible as that. Especially given it would have been in Crew 2 quality, bearing in mind. But it was an expansion that then they separated and put a lot more effort into, I assume got that Ubisoft, you know, AAA budget into, because, you know, the game's getting free, what is it called? They're getting flagship IP treatment, which should be good for me. And stuff like that. So it's an expansion that became its own thing, which makes it feel a bit more like, you know, it's a whole game like that. It's a drop-off. It's definitely a drop-off from the Crew 2. Hopefully, it means that, well, high quality and everything, you know, that seems like a given. But people are definitely just indecisive of it. People haven't got their mind. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know in the comments what you think about the map. And here's my opinion, right? With how I mentioned that, you know, we've got all of this and everything, right? Here's what I think. I say, here's my game theory, right? Here's my absolute game theory. Maybe I'll make a full video on just this theory. Completely unfounded, right? I just sort of thought of this. Here's my theory. I say, for expansions to the game, to Motorfest, especially being in Hawaii, I say that they add islands for expansions. Hear me out. If they did, give me a minute, there we go. If they did do that, right, start adding islands as expansions, I genuinely think that would sort the issue of the small map. If we got islands, again, if we did an island of Hawaii still, maybe even make them connected. Maybe not even like a cutscene or a teleport or anything, but just like, you know, you fly to it. Boats and planes are confirmed to be in the game still, but like, maybe make it so that you fly to the next location. So obviously, not only is there well over enough islands in Hawaii anyway, like how many islands in Hawaii? There is the island of Hawaii, the island of Hawaii, I'm gonna mispronounce so many of these. Kauai, then there's Oahu, then Maui, Lanai, Molokai, Niihau, do I stop now? Molokini, Lahu, there's so many. Ford Island, right? There's so many islands of Hawaii that they could just add expansions like that, you know, add expansions that are the islands of Hawaii. Here's what I mean. So if I show you guys right here, we can already see that there's well over enough, right? So we're here, we're in Oahu. We're not even in the biggest one. You know, there's Big Island, apparently. Then there's Molokai, Moai, or whatever, Lanai, I'm so bad, I apologize for the pronunciations. But there's tinier ones. Make those the expansions. You know, say we get, like, I don't even know, like a Crew 2 style, like, new theme. I don't know, a taxiing island. But stuff like that. So we add different islands for the expansions. I don't know, maybe, like, obviously not do one every 3 months, like the current, 1 every 2 months, 1 every 4 months, like the current updates. Maybe do 1 every 6 months, you know? 2 expansions, so every 3 months, but every 2 expansions, we get an island, you know? Something like that. I think that would be perfect, and that would solve the issue of it being such a small map. And here's the thing, you couldn't even just stay in Hawaii. Say the Crew 3 goes for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, like the Crew 2 has. There's the greater USA. There's not just all of the USA, but there's obviously ones that are off the map, off the, you know, we can't be doing like an air base, right? And, yeah, we probably wouldn't be able to do that one. Puerto Rico, there's Guam, there's the US Virgin Islands, there's Swan Islands, there's the Bikini Atoll, there's the Philippines, there's the Saipan, right? So maybe the Hawaiian ones make it so you can fly to any of these, right? Or maybe do make it so you have to teleport to them so the game doesn't just die, right? I doubt the game's gonna be able to handle multiple islands in the same area. Maybe make them collections of islands, you know? You got 3 near each other, and then you got 3 near each other, and you got to teleport to those or whatever. But then, yeah, eventually, say you run out, you got, which one of the US Virgin Islands? You could do one, and then the second one. You could do the Swan Islands. You could do Guam. Guam looks nice. I looked up images of Guam. Guam looks pretty cool. I don't know about the history of most of these places, so maybe I'm really wrong, but looking at it, Guam looks pretty cool. So, again, like I say, these are all, I know these are all over everywhere. These aren't just next to America, right? These are greater United States. But they're all American, right? They're all in that area. Obviously, you go to some islands closer to Hawaii, but these would make sense because they are also part of the greater United States. But again, backtracking here. Well before that, well before that, you have so many islands that are already in Hawaii. So just go for one of those. Is it a lot to ask for? Yeah. Maybe only do once a year, but make it one of the bigger ones. You know, maybe do it once every 2 years. Oh, no, don't do it once every 2 years. But yeah, because missing out on the big map is definitely gonna be something that I think people will notice. And I think people will notice quickly. Maybe? I mean, I don't know, right? If anything, I'm just waffling. Because I don't know. But presumably, I mean, I don't even know the scale of the map. I know it's not 1-to-1. So, it's definitely going to be smaller than 1-to-1 than closer to 1-to-1. So, you know, not every road is going to be there. So, regardless, it's going to be a small map. So, I guess we'll just have to see. What do you boys think? What do you boys think of the expansion idea? What do you boys think of the smaller map? Do you think it's too Forza? Honestly, so many of these topics could have their own video, but this one is about the map, not mainly about the expansion or it being too much like a Forza. But that's going to be about it for me, boys. I will see you boys in the next one. Thank you to popular members, especially thanks to famous members. Thank you to star members TK Troller and Danimal the Manimal. That's about it from me, boys, in a bit.